Hi everyone, so this video is about what are the chances that you're going to meet your twin flame. First of all, I think you need to realize that everything in the spiritual world, like there's really nothing that's proven by fact, right? I mean, it's something that we believe in. It's something we know in our gut. Maybe the information was downloaded to certain people or whatever, but really when answering questions that are on a spiritual nature, what do we have to go by? So we have to go by how we feel, like what is our truth? And also, what is the general consensus? So just because one person thinks something, or maybe they read an article and one article said, it's really, really rare that you'll meet your twin flame in this lifetime, that doesn't mean it's true, just because one article said so. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because I was on a live a couple nights ago, and one of the girl that was hosting the live told somebody who asked, like, what are the chances I'll meet my twin flame? And so she told them, and she said it a couple times, and she said it in a way where it was like, no, it's really, really rare, basically like it's not going to happen. And so I feel like my gut, and it's been bothering me since then, so I feel like I need to make a video about it, just to hoping that whoever sees that, or whoever was ever on her live, maybe sees this video, because it could, it could screw up their reunion. It could, well, I don't think it could screw up their reunion, because when you're a twin flame, you're pulled together. But I just don't like misinformation being out there. So I just feel it in my gut that the true answer is, and I could be wrong, she could be wrong, I don't know. There's, I feel like I'm on a twin flame journey of my own, and I'll do a separate video on that, because I wanted to do a video where I'm explaining who I am, and just letting you guys get to know me and where I come from. But I do feel like I'm on one for the past couple months, I guess, since like May, is when I started learning about twin flames, and I've been obsessed with it pretty much, because I feel like I'm on that journey and I want answers. And so I've studied, and I've read a lot of articles, and, watched a lot of videos. And so maybe she just saw one video, or maybe she's coming from a place where that was the answer before, and now things are changing. So what I do know is that I've heard a couple people say this, and I believe it to be true, because I kind of feel like I can see the bigger picture of what's going on here. I've kind of seen this and that and this, and I just put it all together in my head. And so what I feel like is happening is, I feel like we were in the age of Pisces, which is that what it is, Pisces? Yeah. We were in the age of Pisces, and now we're going into the age of Aquarius. And so age of Aquarius is all about going from the 3D to the 5D, and everybody, ascending and lifting their vibrations of the world to make the world a better place, to make the earth a better place, and humanity. So I really, honestly, to my core, feel like the twin flame journey is a big part of that. Now, I've tried to decide, or figure out, can you be on a spiritual journey, a spiritual path, spiritual awakening, and not be going through a twin flame journey? And I've seen different opinions. And again, these are all just like, really, they're kind of opinions, or, so you really have to go, if you're going to answer these questions, you're going to have to like find a lot of different information and kind of go, okay, what's the general consensus on this? If you're going to tell people, So for her to sit here and say, like, with an absolute fact, oh no, it's really rare, that doesn't resonate with me. And I'm not saying she's wrong, because maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel that that's the case. I feel like it might have been that way in the age of Pisces, but we're now moving into the age of Aquarius, and I almost feel like twin flames reuniting is like the plan, like it's a thing. So like it's going to happen, and if you're a twin flame, you're meant to reunite, to raise the vibrations of the planet, of humanity, to better humanity. So I feel like it's just the master plan. May sound crazy, but that's just like I've seen, just everything that's happened in 2020. And then I just remember that song, The Dawning of the Age of Aquarius, and everybody's talking about going from 3D to 5D, and then it just started to click, and then ever since it's clicked in my head, I've heard other people talk about it, and it's just like, and they're confirming that that's what's going on, or that's how they think, that's how they see it. So I just have this gut feeling, or this, it's just my truth, that I am a twin flame. I'm a little confused right now, and I can go into a different video because I met somebody and I'm pretty sure he's my twin flame, but then I started thinking maybe he's my karmic, maybe this other guy that I met and ghosted me, and I had this really strange like attraction to him, and but I never even got to meet the guy in person. Maybe he's my twin flame. Okay, so, and then it's like, well, maybe it's somebody new. So that leaves me very confused. I am a little confused right now, but yet I have this just soul knowing that that's what's going on with me, that's the journey I'm on right now. And it's also like all these tarot card messages I've been seeing, other general ones, plus my own the angel messages, the numbers I've been seeing, all the twin flame information that's come at me. It's just, and I know that like with the internet, they have the algorithms where if you like type something you're interested in, all of a sudden you're just going to see a bunch of ads for it, a bunch of information, and that's awesome. That has something to do with it, I'm sure, but it's just more than that. I've just, even like the angel messages, I go to look up the meanings, and it's basically telling me you're a light worker, you're here to help people, and then it's also pointing to this twin flame journey and everything that the twin flame journey that I'm going on. In another video I'll talk about that, but I just have this knowing that that's what I'm on, that is my purpose. And furthermore, I've done, my readings have been a lot of twin flame, my general readings, my personal readings that I'm doing, there's been a lot of like twin flame coming up in my readings, and I just feel like that's my purpose, is to help other twin flames unite. And so when you're a twin flame, that's usually your purpose. So your purpose of going through that is to help others. And so many twin flames unite, it's going to raise a vibration. So if it's one big plan, then I don't think it's going to be that rare. Now, I've heard differing opinions on whether everybody has a twin flame. One opinion I heard was that if you're a twin flame, you're really kind of an old soul. Maybe you've lived like 100+ lives. It's a lot of lives. I didn't know that I believed in reincarnation, but I didn't believe, I didn't know how many lives. And I do feel like an old soul. I do feel like I have a lot of wisdom, and it was kind of hiding in there, and now it's starting to pop out. But so if you're a twin flame, that's what they said. Whatever I was reading or watching, basically they were saying that when you're a twin flame, you're usually an old soul, and then like you've lived so many lifetimes that you've gotten to the point where you've ascended so high that they then split your soul in two, so that so there's more of you to go down on earth, and more work to be done, more things you can do, more people to help. And so that becomes your purpose, is to come back down as a light worker and help people, and raise the vibrations and help the humanity and the world. So that's why your soul is split in two, and that's why you have a twin flame. So I've heard that. But then other people have said that, that everybody has a twin flame, but it's not necessarily, down here on earth at the same time you are. So I don't really know. I mean, I don't think it's incredibly rare, though, to meet your twin flame. I don't think, because of what I've been seeing, or at least to tell somebody that's brought to TikTok, like I swear in my gut, I feel like I was meant to be brought to TikTok, because the information has just exploded. Like I already knew, like if I look back on what I was going through, yeah, I was going through a spiritual journey before I came to TikTok. But once I came to TikTok, there was so much information on it. That's what triggered me learning about it, learning like what is going on with me. And I love TikTok. It's amazing to have all that information at your fingertips, and to have this community to be able to be formed, where we can all share information. So I feel like, now, if you've been brought to TikTok's, the spiritual side of TikTok, it doesn't mean you're definitely, a light worker, or meant to do this or meant to do that. But for me, I feel like it was. I feel like, based on all the information that I've learned, based on all the general readings, they're the same thing over and over again. And then my readings matched it. All my angels' numbers matched it. What I feel in my soul matches it. It's just this inner knowing, and that's where your intuition comes in. And so it's like, I think that's where, when, maybe you go to a past life reading and they tell you, you're this, you could sit here and say, well, maybe that was just my imagination. But like when you feel it in your gut and it and it makes sense to you, then you're like, that's what I am. So that's my label now. I'm a light worker, and I think I specialize in twin flame reunions. So I think I can help a lot of people, sometimes just by being there, sometimes just by, saying a kind word or something like that. But I think more than that with my tarot card readings, but it just seems like I'm being put down this journey to help toward twin flame. So I guess that's why when she said that, it just triggered something in me where, now don't get me wrong, I like her. She's a really sweet lady. I'm sure she knows a lot about a lot of things, but in this case, that particular thing she said did not resonate with me. So I feel like I needed to make a video to set the record straight, or at least get my opinion out there, because I think that might have been the past. In the past, in the age of Pisces, yes, it was rare apparently. But even Aaron Daughtry, I think that's his name, I love his videos. He talks about manifestation, and I learned a lot from him. But even he said the same thing. He was basically pointed to the fact that the twin flames are supposed to reunite to raise the vibrations, and then there's clearly a mass awakening. That's something that I've observed, and I've heard other people say too. So it's like, okay, my observation is matching with what other people are saying. So there's clearly a mass awakening, and I think the twin flames coming together. Sometimes I think that the twin flame, meeting your twin flame or having that experience, is what triggers the spiritual awakening. And I did do some research on that, and some people said yes, some people said you can have a spiritual awakening without it. I don't know, for a fact which one's which, but I feel like it's connected. I feel like every time I hear somebody talking about a spiritual awakening, I feel like they're also talking about twin flame. So I feel like maybe, when you meet your twin flame, it's a catalyst towards your spiritual awakening. As I'm trying to figure out this guy that I think's my twin flame, is he really my twin flame? As I try to figure that out, I Googled, can a karmic initiate your spiritual awakening? Can it be your catalyst? And so there was an article that said, yes, a karmic can be. Yes, a soulmate can be. So I'm still kind of going, is it him? I'm almost like, in my gut, I feel like it is. And I feel like that's the spiritual journey, because he and I go back and forth. We have this push-pull thing. We have, a lot of the twin flame things that happen, but at the same time, it's like, is he a narcissist? Like, maybe he's just my karmic, I'm still trying to figure it out. That's basically where I come from, but I still have this inner knowing that that's the journey I'm on. The repeating numbers, the certain numbers I see, they all point to that. So I'm a twin flame, I'm a light worker, and I can see the bigger picture. And I know anybody that knows me in real life, hears me talking like this, they're going to think I've lost my mind. But this is my inner truth. This is what's been going on with me the past couple of months. Like, this information is just popping in front of my face, and I'm learning so much. And I'm being encouraged by these messages, these repeating numbers. When I go and Google them and read them, I'm being encouraged to share this information. So here I am sharing. Anyway, so I'm sorry if I'm talking so fast. It's almost like I'm channeling what to say, and I've heard people say that before, and I get it. I get it. So anyway, so she said it's very rare. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think that especially if you're brought into, like, if you're, maybe you don't know anything about twin flames, and all of a sudden, you see this video pops up on your For You page or something like that. I feel like that's a sign. It's like Spirit's way of starting to, they feed you these little breadcrumbs. And I feel like I'm getting the breadcrumb, and I'm going and learning. And it's like everything's just starting to fit together. And I think that's what they, when they say spiritual awakening or awoke, that's what happens, is like, and then you're kind of decoding these messages, especially when they're angel numbers. You have to go Google the angel numbers. You have to look them up and learn, what does this mean? With your tarot card readings, they have a lot of wisdom in them. And so it's telling you what you need to hear. And like today, I just was looking on my YouTube for what video do I want to listen to while I'm on my walk. And there was a video, it was, this is your sign. I believe that stuff. I really do. I believe when I first came to TikTok, and before I even was able to pick what I was interested in, because when you hit like, it'll send you more of that. Oh, you like this video? Okay, here. At first it was just a bunch of hot guys and hot women dancing around, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the hot guys, whatever. But then it was like a tarot card reading. I'm like, yeah, I like that. That's my thing. And I mean, obviously, when I'm on Google and I'm researching witchy stuff, so now the internet knows. That's how their algorithms work. It's like if you type something in Google and all of a sudden you start getting ads for it. Well, now I'm seeing that they're doing that with information as well. And that's great. and that's what led me to it. But I think it was more than that. I think it was spirit. And I think spirit is just putting things that I need to see. And so today when I went to YouTube to decide what video did I need to see, it was another girl's tarot readings, and it was pick a card, and 3 was screaming at me in my head, pile number 3. That's how you know your intuition. You know which one is. It's whatever thought comes to you first. It's your first thought, because a lot of times your logical mind will say, well, maybe I'm drawn to the color of that pile, or no, it's the first thought. And so it's important to pay attention to what your first thought is so that you know. But 3, so I picked pile 3, I skipped to the timeline, and oh my God, like, and it was a message saying, you know, that, what did it say? That my past life, I was like, or, you know, whoever, pile 3, it was a general reading, but whoever's listening to this message, and I do believe Spirit sent it to me for a reason, because it was just me to a T, everything I'm going through. It did say, it started off by saying that in the past you were like a town elder of like wisdom, spiritual wisdom, and you know, like a spiritual guru or whatever, but you had to be very serious. And so because of that, this life is for you to be silly and lighthearted. And it also said something about, you know, you feel like people in your life, like your mom, your parents, don't take you seriously. They treat you like a kid. Totally. And so, but you have a lot of wisdom to share, and but you do it in a silly way. And it's funny because, like, when I first started doing TikTok, I was kind of like stern and trying to get used to being in front of this camera and letting my real personality out. And I'm still not there yet. I'm not my goofy self. Oh my God, do I get goofy? And I've seen Jenny Chang's videos, and that woman is hilarious. She's awesome. I'm sure you've seen her by now. And her video count is like, she's got like 500,000, 600,000 followers last time I checked. I mean, she just blew up. And I'm like, I have a very similar personality to hers, but I don't know if I can let that loose. And then people might think I'm copying her. But basically the reading just said, be yourself. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be myself, and eventually I'll probably let my goofy side out little by little. But it said, yeah, you're meant to be goofy, and it's true. Like, I do feel like I have a lot of wisdom to share, but at the same time, I get really, really silly. And then that was another thing she said is, oh, maybe you're blonde and people don't take you seriously. Yep, I'm blonde. Well, some of this is highlights, but you know, shh, don't tell. And she likened it to Marilyn Monroe, how nobody, you know, she wanted to be a serious actress, but nobody took her seriously because I guess her luck or whatever. But so that hit the nail on the head. And then she went on to say, she did talk about twin flame. She basically said, you're a twin flame and you're about to get in union with your twin flame. And so that's the general message that I've been getting from my tarot cards, from everything, all these messages. It's like they're just thrown in your face, so much so that you just know. This is not just me. I'm not crazy. I'm not making it up. My family probably thinks I'm going crazy. However, I just know there's so much going on. And you know, when I see these repeating numbers, I think to myself, am I crazy? You know, could this just be me noticing numbers? Like I had somebody say, oh, you know, that happens a couple times a day. You know, it is 111 a couple times a day. Yeah, it's twice a day. And then it's 1111 a couple times, you know, twice a day. But it's more than me just seeing the numbers. Like, and I'll talk about this in another video, but like, for instance, I made I pulled a card about abundance, and I made a video. And then later, when I went to look at my view count, it said 888. So I looked up, okay, you know, I always Google the numbers. When it's a repeating number like that, 3 8s in a row, what does that mean? And it was about abundance. So to me, it wasn't just me seeing a repeating number. Now there's like an intelligent connection, you know, like, and then what'll happen is I'll think something in my head, and all of a sudden I'll see a repeating number, and the repeating number will seem to talk about what just happened. Like the other day, my son sent me a really nasty text, and he can be very negative with me. I mean, that's how kids are, I guess. He's 23, he's not a kid, but anyway, I saw a repeating number right after that. I was really mad, I was really down, and then the number basically talked about getting rid of negativity in your life and not being around people like that. And it was just weird because it was almost like they were hearing my thoughts and answering me. So I feel like it's more than just seeing little signs and synchronicities. I mean, these things really, it's almost like sometimes I have a conversation with them based on, you know, my thoughts versus what message they're sending me. It's like, and it's really cool because other people have said that, where you don't need to talk out loud to them. And sometimes I do. and I probably look crazy, but really you don't. You actually, they can hear your thoughts, and that's amazing and awesome. And I've heard other people say that, and I would absolutely agree that when I think things, you know, all of a sudden there'll be a repeating number. I'll look it up, and it's just like literally that meaning of that number is answering or, you know, focusing on that thought I just had. It just has a lot to do with that thought or whatever's going on in my life. So to me, it's not just, oh, I'm noticing numbers. And so that's why I'm like, I just know it in my soul. I know I'm going through a spiritual journey. I know I'm a twin flame. I know that these messages about how you, and like I'll be flipping through my tarot card and spiritual career will come out, or, you know, just all these messages that are telling me, open up, be your true self, people will love you. And I just never thought that way about myself. I mean, I thought I'm a cool person, I like my personality, but I never really thought on a scale of a lot of people. So that's what I'm doing in hopes that that message is right. So I do want to help a lot of people. It does feel good. So here I am blabbing on the internet. I know that I've kind of got off course with some of the information I've shared in this video that were beyond twin flames, but it's just because I'm so passionate about it. And this is my passion. This is why it excites me to be experiencing this, to share this with people, and maybe help other people who might be going through the same thing. If for the least reason to just let them know you're not alone. You know, you're not going crazy. And I am just a normal person who happens to be experiencing something very divine in her life right now. And that seems to be my soul path. And that's why I'm here. But to answer the question, yeah, I personally believe that now 100% are all twin flames going to reunite. I don't know, maybe not, maybe it's not meant to, but I kind of feel like it's a thing. It's like a plan. It's like a mass awakening is a thing. I think it's because we're entering the age of Aquarius. I think everything that's going on in 2020, and that should hopefully, you know, if people can believe that, and then maybe this is their truth too, should help you feel better. I don't know, it might take a couple years for us to get through this turmoil that's like going on. It might not be just this year. That I've kind of, I don't know where that thought comes from, if I've like, it was like a tarot reading or what, but basically, or somebody else's opinion that it might last a couple years. I don't remember where I heard it, but basically, I think it's probably true. It's probably gonna be more than 2020. It's probably gonna be a couple years of weirdness, general weirdness. You just gotta get through it. But then this age of Aquarius, we're headed into this age where more people are awakening, and the more you ascend to 5D, the happier you're going to be. So it's going to be this age of peace and love, and the twins reuniting. So the twins are going to go through this rough patch of the separation and the dark night of the soul and all this stuff, all these different steps you go through, the void. And then, you know, obviously come in union, hopefully to stay in union. I still don't know the answer to that. You know, I'm constantly trying to check my tarot cards to say, who's my twin flame and what's the outcome? And sometimes it changes. I almost feel like my guides are trying to tell me, you're not meant to know. We're going to confuse you. And that's another thing. They will test you. So sometimes my readings, like one day they'll be really good when I'm manifesting good. And the next day when I'm down about things and doubting things, it'll be a different reading. Or I'll say, is this guy my twin flame? And they'll say, yes. They'll give me the twin flame cards. And is this guy? They'll give me that. And I'm like, how can I have more than one? So I'm Googling, can you have more than one? You know? And as far as that goes, most people say you only have one. I think I read one article that said you can have more than one. Your soul can split into multiple people. So I don't know. And so it's based on my cards and based on some feelings I've been getting, I kind of feel like maybe I could be, or really probably what makes more sense is that one's a karmic, or you can meet a soulmate and your soulmate can feel like, I've known you all my life. Like, you can have lots of soulmates. Your soulmates can be friends, you know, even your family they're soulmates. They're people that you were in heaven with, and you made a soul contract to come down here and teach each other lessons or be a part of each other's life. So when you go to and you start a new job and there's somebody there, it just feels like I've known you forever. That person's your soulmate. And so, yeah, you can have, the karmic is somebody who the cycle is just very toxic, but they do teach you something. And my cycle with this guy that I think is my twin flame hasn't really been toxic per se. The situation was, and I almost feel like it was the situation that makes him look like a narcissist or makes it look toxic. I think he puts on a mask, and he kind of, I think it allows him to like breadcrumb me and not give me too much, and then it kind of feels like he's being a narcissist. It feels like he's toxic. I'm still trying to figure that out, but then you have other people that come into your life, and so the whole false twin flame, that would be, maybe it's a karmic, maybe it's just a soulmate. Maybe there are more than one. Nobody really knows for sure. Oops, my battery's running low. So nobody really knows for sure, but I think the point is, if you hear something, don't just take that and then reiterate to somebody. Do a lot of research. Yeah, it helps. The more people we hear their opinion or their thoughts, the more we can decide what's the general consensus. What is true? Who's the guru? Who knows what they're talking about? Or does anybody? All I know is what I feel in my gut. All I know is all the research. I have been just pounding at it day in and day out on my free time. I'm just researching all these spiritual things, and because I just have this thirst for knowledge, and especially with the twin flame experience, it's like I want to know what I'm going through. And then that is helping me to tell other people what my opinion is. So I would definitely say, research. Google twin flames and read all the articles, watch all the videos if you think you're going through a twin flame experience and you want answers. So yeah, I would not have said what she said. I don't like that she said that because it just doesn't ring with my truth, but not everybody's going to like what you say. People might think I'm freaking nuts. They might think, who knows what they think. You got to get to the point where you just don't care anymore, and you just got to live your truth, right? And so that's what I'm doing now. Finally, I used to be in the broom closet about my witchy ways and the things I like, because not a lot of people understand it. The mainstream world, their mainstream is Christianity and to suffer a witch to die and all this bullshit, honestly. And so I was very quiet about it. I didn't want people to think I'm crazy. I didn't want people to think, whatever. But that's one thing as part of my spiritual journey and all these messages I've seen, is that I got to be myself and I got to live my truth, and it's time, and it feels good. It feels liberating. So another thing she said, since I'm here with you guys and this video is getting long, is that she said, and she said it with such absolute certainty that it's just like, I really hate that she's telling people this. What else is she telling people, But I don't want to dog her because she's really sweet. She's very nice. Maybe she's just faking it till you make it and just doesn't know a lot of stuff. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, she said your angel guides aren't your ancestors. She said your ancestors have their own journey and have too much to do. I could see how she could think that. But I've heard a lot of other people say otherwise and say that they are your ancestors. And I absolutely think that they could be, that your ancestors, or at least, you hear that all the time. They're with you. The thing about people in this other realm, in heaven or whatever, is that just like God, I think they're omnipresent, which means they can be multiple places and multiple times. God can be talking to me and 5 billion other people. Well, I think it's the same thing with spirits, is they can be in the higher realm where they're in bliss, and they can also be down here talking to, closer to us, and they could be talking to multiple people. They can be doing their whatever they need to do. If there's anything they need to work on up there, they're studying or whatever that somebody said they do. So I've heard different opinions on that. I don't really know if I agree with that. I don't feel as passionately about that because twin flames is my jam, apparently. But anyway, when you hear people talk about things, even me, take it with a grain of salt. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge that I've acquired, but I don't know everything. Honestly, when I started, and I'll do another video probably saying a lot of the same stuff I've said here, but when I started, it was probably the 90s when I realized I loved witchy. Well, I've always loved witchy stuff, but like when I realized the real side of Wicca and became I didn't even like to call myself a witch at first because as a label, and it was just like, do I need somebody to, and I was very solitary. I never joined a coven or anything. I've never partnered with anybody. TikTok and everything I'm going now, I joined a Facebook community, that gives me a lot of information, and it feels good. It feels good to connect with people that like the same types of things that I like. That makes him look like a narcissist or makes it look toxic. I think he puts on a mask, and he kind of, I think it allows him to like breadcrumb me and not give me too much. And then it kind of feels like he's being a narcissist. It feels like he's toxic. I'm still trying to figure that out. But, then you have other people that come into your life. And so the whole false twin flame, that would be, maybe it's a karmic, maybe it's just a soulmate. Maybe there are more than one. Nobody really knows for sure. Oops, my battery is running low. So nobody really knows for sure, but I think the point is, if you hear something, don't just take that and then reiterate to somebody. Do a lot of research. It helps. The more people we hear their opinion or their thoughts, the more we can decide what's the general consensus. What is true? Who's the guru? Who knows what they're talking about? Or does anybody all I know is what I feel in my gut. All I know is all the research. I have been just pounding at it day in and day out on my free time. I'm just researching all these spiritual things, and because I just have this thirst for knowledge, and especially with the twin flame experience, it's like I want to know what I'm going through. And then that is helping me to tell other people what to, what my opinion is. So I would definitely say, research. Google twin flames and read all the articles, watch all the videos if you think you're going through a twin flame experience and you want answers. I would not have said what she said. I don't like that she said that because it just doesn't ring with my truth, but not everybody's going to like what you say. People might think I'm freaking nuts. They might think, who knows what they think. You got to get to the point where you just don't care anymore, and you just got to live your truth, right? And so that's what I'm doing now. Finally, I used to be in the broom closet about my witchy ways and the things I like because not a lot of people understand it. The mainstream world, their mainstream is Christianity and to suffer a witch to die and all this bullshit, honestly. And so I was very quiet about it. I didn't want people to think I'm crazy. I didn't want people to think, whatever. But that's one thing as part of my spiritual journey and all these messages I've seen is that I got to be myself and I got to live my truth, and it's time and it feels good. It feels liberating. So another thing she said, since I'm here with you guys and this video is getting long, is that she said, and she said it with such absolute certainty that it's just like, I really hate that she's telling people this. What else is she telling people, But I don't want to dog her because she's really sweet. She's very nice. Maybe she's just faking it till you make it and just doesn't know a lot of stuff. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, she said your angel guides aren't your ancestors. She said your ancestors have their own journey and have too much to do. I could see how she could think that. But I've heard a lot of other people say otherwise and say that they are your ancestors. And I absolutely think that they could be, that your ancestors, or at least, you hear that all the time. They're with you. The thing about people in this other realm, in heaven or whatever, is that just like God, I think they're omnipresent, which means they can be multiple places and multiple times. God can be talking to me and 5 billion other people. Well, I think it's the same thing with spirits, is they can be in the higher realm where they're in bliss, and they can also be down here talking to, closer to us, and they could be talking to multiple people. They can be doing their whatever they need to do. If there's anything they need to work on up there, they're studying or whatever that somebody said they do. So I've heard different opinions on that. I don't really know if I agree with that. I don't feel as passionately about that because twin flames is my jam, apparently. But anyway, when you hear people talk about things, even me, take it with a grain of salt. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge that I've acquired, but I don't know everything. Honestly, when I started, and I'll do another video, probably saying a lot of the same stuff I've said here, but when I started, it was probably the 90s when I realized I loved witchy. Well, I've always loved witchy stuff, but like when I realized the real side of Wicca and became, I didn't even like to call myself a witch at first because as a label, and it was just like, do I need somebody to, and I was very solitary. I never joined a coven or anything. I've never partnered with anybody. TikTok and everything I'm going now, I joined a Facebook community, you know, that gives me a lot of information, and it feels good. It feels good to connect with people that like the same types of things that I like, that are kind of more rare. But what was I saying? So I was a solitary witch. I was hesitant to put a label on it because I'm like, do I know enough to say I'm a witch? Do I have enough information? And honestly, I did a couple spells, a couple of rituals that actually, you know, where you use the tools and the colors and the this and that. I learned all that and did that. And, you know, some of my spells worked. Some of them kind of backfired a little bit. It's like I got love, but the guy was a raging alcoholic. So, still love him, just can't be with him because of his ways. But, and I do believe, you know, it's like I did the love spell and then boom, there it was. I did money spell, and boom, there it was. That kind of backfired on me too because I did a money spell and then I got the money. Oh, I got the money. But I was worked to the bone with a lot of overtime because not because I wanted to work overtime, but because there was so much work coming in for that job that I either did it or I drowned in that job. So I just had to do it if I wanted that job. So my spell worked. I got lots of extra money. I probably should have said with little effort from me or something. Now I know that you always want to say harm to none or to me. So my little thing at the end of spells is harm to none or to me, let the spell be consequence free. Okay, I'm getting off course. So I was hesitant to put the label witch on me. I think now I'm finally to the point where I'm a witch. I mean, I had boyfriends where they'd tease me and say, you're my bruja, you know, my Mexican boyfriend. And so yeah, I'm finally to the point where I'm a witch. Apparently I'm an old soul. Apparently I'm like gonna be a spiritual teacher if I'm not already, I guess. I kind of just all of a sudden just plopped into that position on here. Like, you're a twin flame. Here's all this information about twin flames. Go spread the word. Go help other twin flames. Go do tarot card readings and mentor and coach other people. Go spread the word, help other twin flames reunite so that this part of this plan can happen. And I'm sure I'm one out of a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of people that are waking up and realizing they're light workers. And I remember when I first saw one of Aaron Daughtry's, I think I sang his name right, one of his videos, and it said, if you're here, you're probably a light worker. You're a star seed. And I'm like, fuck is that? But more and more, same message keeps coming through to me. Same message, same message. Okay, I'm a light worker. And then I've had people just in this short time I've been on TikTok be like, oh my God, you've helped me so much just from a few words. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are lonely, sad, and they're having troubles, and sometimes they just need a positive word, somebody to just say, I got you, or, you know, you're lovely, or whatever. Like, and so you might be watching this and you might be a light worker. And if you keep getting messages like this, now granted, TikTok, once you get into the TikTok spiral, going down that rabbit hole, which I've gone down, yeah, I guess it could, you know, maybe it's the algorithm. I just feel like it's more than that because it's not just on TikTok. It's, you know, the repeating numbers on my monitor or my own tarot card readings, or when I look up those repeating numbers and what they mean. And those definitions match with all these, you know, stuff I've been seeing on TikTok, or those general readings that, you know, those general readings. I'll do another video about that on, you know, how true that is. God, I got a lot of things to say. Okay, I'm done. I said, you know, my little beef about how I'm not happy with the fact that she said those two things. That's what this video was supposed to be about. And I've just gone on a rant and said everything else. But I hope you enjoyed getting to know me. And I'm gonna make this a career. So I'm gonna be here for you. Share my videos if you will. That would be awesome because I just want to touch as many people as I can. I've been told this is my purpose. And the funny thing is when I started my manifestations, it was all about like, I want the money, I want love. And I've heard other people's videos and they talk about like when you start your manifestations, that might be what you want, but as time goes on, you start to, yeah, you do care about helping other people. You do want to help people. I never want my tarot card readings to ever hurt anybody. Hopefully that won't happen. My intent is to be helpful. My intent is to be there for people. And it feels good for me, but I think I am a light worker. I think I do. That is, and I've always thought of myself as kind of empathetic. Like when people hurt, it hurts me. I feel that. And I guess maybe I even take that on. So I'm learning how to release that. But anyway, okay. So I'm done with this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, at least. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already following me, please do, because I think I got a lot to teach you. And I also want to connect with other people that feel the way I feel. It feels good to be in a community. So blessed be.